Thanks for coming in today. I have your pre-assessment surveys and questionnaires. Had you fill out before the meeting, each one of you, and some interesting stuff here. Kind of have a few discrepancies amongst the two of you, but however, there is some good feedback. I feel like we can work with what you have here. What do you want to accomplish today? What's the overall goal of seeking financial counseling?
So we're here mainly today to talk about how we can plan and save for our future kids' college expenses.
I see here that you'd like to ultimately save for your kids' college, have a fund for them.
Right, that's my main purpose for coming in, and I feel like in doing so we're going to have to eliminate some of the spending issues that we have had happening in order to save and be able to meet those financial needs.
And do you concur with his goals and reasoning?
I do, but I also believe that our kids deserve a good childhood, and I think that they should have the things that he was not able to grow up with that I did have.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You need to understand that's what I'm looking at, is at their future, and for you to overspend on all these things that we don't need, that's going to prohibit us from saving for their future. The kids can get by with a lot less. They have everything they need to be happy. We have a strict budget, and right now you're not paying attention to it.
So our kids need to also meet the status quo of what we have within the city. We live in a really nice area. We have a very expensive house, I would say. We want our kids to grow and learn in a really comfortable environment, and to grow and learn, they need to meet those standards of living. And I believe that they can work hard and they can eventually be able to have some type of scholarship money to go to college, and they don't necessarily need money set aside for them.
See, you don't get it. Money that it doesn't grow on trees. You were brought up to where you had everything handed to you, so you need to be able to plan. You don't even know financially where we stand or anything
I
like that.
I did not grow up that way.
Work for this family to provide for y'all, and you just turn around and spend all the money on things that we don't need.
Let's step back here a second, guys. I feel like there's a lot of just kind of habits forming from each of your childhoods. For instance, you said that you grew up in a decent, well-off community, and you, however, had two working parents all the time.
Sometimes you don't understand the quality of life that you have to meet in order to get to the next level sometimes.
Okay, well that's what we're going to address here today. I don't want anybody to get mad at each other. That's good that we're bringing out these situations and frustrations, because it is better that we address it now. We're giving you guys a little homework assignments, things like that, kind of put some of the responsibility amongst yourself. And I also want to bring to light some of the things that give you troubles amongst yourselves, because I can sit here and tell you all day what your issues are, but until the two of you realize them in your personal relationships and at home, you're not going to be able to start activating the process and engaging amongst each other. So that's going to be a big portion, is amongst your relationship and the two of you, in order to fulfill these processes, assignments, and needs to help better oil this machine. Right now I'm going to hand you two each an assignment. I want you to fill out, due before next week. It's going to be 10 issues and solutions that you feel are most abundant and that you face often amongst yourselves in your relationship. Last week I gave you two the assignment to take home about the 10 communication issues and problems you're facing amongst yourself. And ultimately I found this kind of surprising, because you both agree upon the same ultimate outcomes. However, your communication issues are also counterparts of one another. You feel like your family deserves so much because you work so hard. However, you feel like you're working so hard because you spend so much. However, at the end of the day, you both want to provide well for your kids so they can have a better future. Like I said, we're a step in the right direction, because having a shared goal is the main purpose here. So, any thoughts at the time?
I think we definitely deserve these things because he does work so hard, and I'm at home with the kids. And
Well, I work hard to provide for y'all. I travel all the time. I'm away from the family to make money to provide it. I just feel like our money's being squandered on things that we don't need, and it's a hiccup.
Key components that one of my colleagues and renowned professors, Dr. Parry, exhibits is having shared parental joy, which I feel like is clearly established amongst the both of you. So that's going to be a lot easier to transition into this goal of providing future college savings for your children. SMART goals are going to kind of provide a piece of the puzzle that serves as the bigger picture for your ultimate savings, and it's going to kind of move us along in the process of ultimately saving. Similar to last week's meeting, I'm going to give you guys another assignment this time. It's either called SMART goals. You're each going to create these. They're going to be specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and a timely goal that you want to get accomplished over the course of this counseling. Does this seem like something that will appeal to both of you and you can bring out some insight?
Definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, awesome. Got your SMART goals back, and we got some good stuff here. I just wanted to start off by asking, you have defined the first acronym that you want to say for your college, or your kids' college futures. Measurable, what feels like a good time frame to begin this process for the two of you?
Well, our kids are 12 and 14 right now, so we have roughly 4 to 6 years before we actually need to send them to college.
What do you think will actually make this something that you can grasp?
I just think that we need to be in a common agreement that what needs to be set aside is used for the kids' education. Well, she can get a job.
Okay, I mean, yeah, definitely. A dual income would definitely help speed up the process and make it a little more realistic to attain those resources, so therefore you can set them aside. So once you do retain those resources, it'll become more of a realistic goal, and it'll kind of reduce some of that resistance you're having because you'll see the savings go up from here, and therefore provide you a little more motivation to keep saving for the future. The two of you agree that we kind of have some understood, outlined goals assessed at this point?
Yeah,
Yes.
definitely.
Okay, awesome. Well, I think we're ready to begin and kind of initiating some of those processes. You mentioned that a dual income could help benefit the family.
Yeah, definitely. If she was spent more of her time making money and not spending it, that would be advantageous.
Okay, obviously that's not something you ideally want to do, but however, it is important to keep your eye on the prize, which is the kids in this case. So I feel like an initial goal would be to start searching for that job, maybe part-time or something, just to kind of get you in the door and start opening more options for your savings. And organically, that's going to transpire into the two of you becoming more parallel in your money scripts, which is going to create a more shared microculture amongst the two of you. It'll reduce the arguing, the issues you have, and the communication, and it'll just provide a better, happier life, bank account, and process for you. I just want to get some feedback and take from the two of you what you best kind of took from this process and learned.
So it was really insightful for me, particularly digging into why and how we do what we do, why our money scripts, financially, why I think it's better not to spend and save. It comes from, how I was raised, and when you take that into consideration, it helps you better understand the way you act towards each other and why you do what you do.
What's on your end?
I agree with him. I guess I was blinded by how much money we really needed to save, and I wasn't really aware of his thought process until after we went through these processes, and I really like the assignments that he gave us. We were able to connect a lot more and come to an understanding as well.
Awesome. I'm glad to hear it, and I'm glad we could help and get things moving in the right direction.